This is a question of safety for everybody, including children, who are even more vulnerable to this radiation due to their lesser thickness, or thinner, their thinner blood-brain barrier. This is also just like cigarettes in the 50s. The tobacco companies knew that cigarettes were carcinogenic and that they were killing people. But for greed and profit, they denied it and fought the use of warning labels. So many women tuck their phones into their bras that they now make bras with cell phone pockets. But young women have been getting breast cancer in the very spot they've been stashing their phones for years. A friend of mine got bladder cancer after carrying his phone in a waist pack in front of his belly. I always warn people not to carry their phones near their organs. They also lower sperm count. I thought I was being smart by buying pants with pockets lower down on the side of the legs, but now I've been told that this is still affecting the bloodstream in my leg. I have no doubt that cell towers, cell phones, Wi-Fi, and smart meters are killing us. Let's at least warn people.
Thank you. Next.
Thanks. I'd like to yield my time to Stephanie Thomas, but I'd just like to say that please keep in mind the precautionary principle. I'm a grandmother, nurse, and a member of a faith community, and I just think it's our obligation to keep that in mind because I'm speaking in memory of my friend Bill Moyer, not Bill Moyers, but Bill Moyer, who was a Quaker activist. He was talking about these dangers years ago, and now some of the research is coming out. I want to see Dr. Moskowitz's, your students made that film. We'd love to show it sometime.
So bravo for Berkeley for standing up to big soda versus our health, and now it's big telecom versus Berkeleyans' health. Linda, please amend your motion to read that dangerous radiation is emitted whenever the cell phone is on, even if it's not in use. Fine print warning found in the BlackBerry user manual, buried in the back of the pamphlet under compliance information, very fine print. Quote, use hands-free operation if it is available and keep the device at least 0.98 inches from your body, including the abdomen of pregnant women and the lower abdomen of teenagers when the device is turned on and connected. So, according to BlackBerry, we should keep our cell phones almost 1 inch from our bodies, including our heads. And that's BlackBerry. Do you really trust them? Most cell phone manuals tell the consumer in fine print to limit your use. Is my time up?
Would anyone like to offer additional time to the speaker? Thank you. Well, you'd have to come up if you want to say anything. I'm sorry.
So the International Agency for Research on Cancer of the World Health Organization in 2011 classified radiofrequency electromagnetic fields as possibly carcinogenic to humans, and that's an understatement. That's based on increased risk of glioma, a malignant type of brain cancer associated with wireless phone use. This classification includes all wireless devices and cell towers and antennas. And I will remind you that Senator Ted Kennedy died of glioma, a very rare form of cancer before cell phone use, and he always kept his cell phone on that side of the head.
He wants to say something, but go ahead quickly, please.
The Russian standards on this in the 1950s were 100,000 times more stringent than the American standards. They looked after their people.
Russians.
I'm Dmitry Belser, and I'm a great believer in customer notification, but I really think that customers need to be notified of things that are based on science. I have never seen science that really shows a direct link. I have, for example, here for you, this is from the National Institute of Health. It shows the rates of brain cancer as compared to the rates of cell phone use. And rates of brain cancer are identical to what they were in 1984, despite cell phone use going through the roof. I also have real serious questions about this. If we're going to go ahead and do this, how is the city going to monitor this? How will people be notified? Will these warnings be provided in Braille and in large print so that people with disabilities have access to them? There's a lot of questions here that have to be answered. I really urge the council to wait and see what the government is going to do on this. I think that there are people looking at all of the science on this, really examining this issue, and are going to be addressing this. And I don't want to see Berkeley moving forward with something that is based on mostly fear. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lori Hines. I just want to remind you this bill being proposed in Berkeley is much different than what was passed in San Francisco. This one simply points out the information in their manual. It doesn't, consumer information in their manual. It doesn't say anything about the dangers or risks of health phones, so it just gives a heads up to consumers so that they can be informed and then choose for themselves if they want to use a cell phone directly against their body. So that's a big difference.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Thank you. Next speaker.